Hey guys, Mick Corbett here, Liquid Existence. Today I was going to go for a fish, but yeah, the weather's not real nice out there, so I thought I'd give it a miss and maybe just talk about just some basic hard bodies that I'd use in the Clarence. I've just picked out four that are pretty similar in profile, shape, design, and really just wanted to talk about the benefits and possibly some cons with them. But anyhow, what I'll do is I'll probably start with the 3B Fat Dog Berkeley lure, as you can see there. Now this particular lure, just for price point's really good. I know it's a lot cheaper than the other guys, but with that does come, probably, I don't know if you can see it there, maybe a bit of poor paint quality off to the side there. And also a bit of a cracked bib. Obviously I've used this one a little bit, obviously picked it out of the box, but they definitely do catch fish, and they're really, a good lure to throw around if money's a bit of an issue. But yeah, one thing that I do notice with this compared to the other ones is the rattle's a lot more deeper sort of noise, and I don't know whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing. I tend to think it's probably not a good thing. I think the fish do like that higher pitch rattle, but that's just a personal view. But anyhow, so moving on from there was the Maria crank. Now I've been told that these aren't getting made anymore, so it's a bit of a disappointment. But this one was really good in the fact that, for this standard sort of size, it was a little bit different in profile, but it also just dug down a little bit more deeper than the others, and was good in the tide. Being around the Clarence River, there's a lot of tidal flow, but it seemed to go pretty well in that respect. Probably where I would have liked to see it do a bit better was maybe with some of the paint designs for it. I think that's probably where, that was one area that they definitely could have improved on. I know Gino painted a whole heap of these up for the company a while ago. But yeah, and when he did that, they, some of the designs that were included in that were unreal. So anyhow, not a bad lure. The next one is the Atomic Crank, and this is a very, very good lure. The one thing that I like about it is that, it's a little bit more smaller profile, smaller bib, doesn't obviously go as deep, but it's something that you could sort of throw anywhere. It doesn't need to be a rock wall. It could be along a, pontoon, whatever it may be, boats, and it's a good, all-round sort of lure to cast at anything. Where I have noticed that sometimes it does struggle is just with that extra bit of tide run. I find that it just doesn't swim well or as true as what it normally does compared to some of the others that I've shown you. But away from the tide, unreal lure. And this is probably a no-brainer, but this is my favourite, Jackal Chubby. Obviously in the brown Suji shrimp, as well as the Atomic. It's got the UV in it there as well. Years ago, when I used to get these things, they never come out with any decent hooks, and we're forever changing them up. So by the time you change the hooks, and if you wanted to trick them up, they become quite an expensive sort of lure. But they've got good hooks on them there now. I'm just looking at them. I'm assuming they're owners, but yeah, really unreal to get that hook issue sorted out. The other thing that I like about this, it does have a real tinnier rattle, and I do tend to think that the fish like that. I think that more high frequency makes them a little bit more interested in the lure, and I think that's why it's sort of, in my opinion, up there, held a bit higher than the other ones that I've shown you there today. I guess with these things, and in the Clarence as well, or anywhere that you fish, there'll be days where there's going to be tentative bites, and some of the things that I've done to try and, get them to bite, is the first of all is just using the Pontoon 21 suspend dots. Great way to, you know, trick your lure up, and really just had to maybe just put a little bit of super glue on them. They did tend to fall off every now and again, but if you put super glue on them, they were pretty good. The other thing that that we would do too is also just put your assist hooks on from Eco Gear. I don't know what it is, but the Bream are happy sort of chasing that from time to time, and it really, they're just sort of sitting there, and they're just sort of, just really that tentative sort of, just little grab to see if anything's going to happen with the lure. I think the little hooks on this, you know, sort of dangle in their face, and you do tend to get them hooked up. And the last thing that I've definitely done with these lures over the time, especially in that tentative bite, is either hit them with a couple of different what I like to call scents, but stinks. The Mega Strike was one of them, and then, you know, once the S Factor sort of came in its own tube, we used that, and yeah, I wasn't a big buyer of the squidgy range, so to speak, but the S Factor that came with it was pretty dynamite. So, but you know what? On days you can just throw it like this, you'll still catch heaps of fish. But that other stuff there, it's more like a tentative bite, maybe a bit of a period after a fresh or right on a fresh. Or just, yeah, not the right moon, or whatever the case may be. Doing them couple little things to these lures will improve your chance, especially on them harder days. All right, guys. Well, I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers. Bye.